Well, hello and welcome back to my channel. My name is Joanne. I'm a law student from Melbourne, Victoria in Australia, and you were waiting for this, Julianne. Hello, Julianne. Hello, short order. You're waiting for this? Yes, because this is just getting crazy. In fact, I'm nearly all crazied out. In fact, I was at the point today where I thought I cannot take another moment of this craziness. But then I realized that some of you don't do Instagram and some of you don't do this, and I thought, well, I really need to do something about this. But yes, she went live today because now you remember she showed photos and neighbour. I was just on X looking at clips. Yeah, there are clips on there. She has not very happy at all because you just do YouTube. That's a really good thing. Hello, Peter. So Miss Balls said several people were kind enough to send me pictures of the WOACB house. Look at the garage, the Paulsons are hoarders. KJ is a public figure, and if she can post pictures of Miranda's house, so can Balls. Now, I don't necessarily condone it. I think nobody should be posting pictures of anyone's houses. However, we do know that Katie posted the Browns house after Garrison had passed. And then she showed Miranda's house, and she's also shown the Derricks. But anyway, she said, Robert Shinn on Balls. This is insane. To the neighbour taking these photos, we have cameras all around the house, and we'll watch the cameras and report you for trespassing. We aren't hoarders. My husband is a woodworker, you psychotic person. Now, the interesting thing that I will say that unless under the trespass laws, unless the person actually is standing inside the boundary of your property, it's not trespassing. You can actually stand on the street. Because I looked up the trespass laws. I've actually done some little bit of research today, and it's essentially going onto another person's property without permission. And that was that. Yes, it was enough to get an IG live. Yes. So it's bizarre. But as I said, that was the picture. And I'm not really looking to actually show the pictures. I believe that in her live, she will actually show the pictures. I believe she shows everyone the pictures anyway in her live. So there's that. So we're going to have a look at this. The other thing that was noted was this. All the sleuths, we have a whole pile of, all the archive consultants picked up something very interesting. And in the document filed by 7M, there was this. This was submitted as the HBO documentary. I will look at this in a little bit more details. But there was something in here that sparked, so you got the victims. There was something in here, and it says it will not be a one-sided story. It's got a lot of the same narrative, the same pictures. His registered business and lawsuits here. Okay, their weapons. And when we get to our weapons, have a look at this. The Wilkins, Katie Joy, Tim Milgram, Melanie Lee, Leah Parra, Jamie Kim, Angela Derrick, James B-X current wife, and many more. So we know they had Melanie Lee, Daniel Jess. I don't know how many of those, but this was their weapons. So they've essentially took and look, the team. Jessica, Tim Milligan, and that entertainment group, the same entertainment group had gone to HBO. This was the HBO proposal. And so the sleuth said, hang on a minute, we've seen this before. It's the same people that are behind it. They've just changed it. It was called Selling Souls, the cult of 7M Films. But interestingly, they were talking about here, 7M Films, they've called it 7M Films, the Shekinah Church, which I thought was a bit odd. So this is her. Harrison, I'm not going to let you on at the moment. We had this discussion yesterday. And it's polite to say hello, everybody. Auntie Joanne, the best auntie in the whole wide world. Can I please come on? That's how it works, Harrison. All right. So KJ, not one creator who calls you out, has made a video in support of Robert Shinn. Hello, Tax Max Facts Thunderclap. KJ, we just put your own words out there right now. KJ sounds like a cult leader when she's talking. So this is Llama Girl's narrative here. KJ, this is about defamation and your 5 years on YouTube, tearing down other people, especially beautiful, successful women. Sorry. Your jealousy has got you into this mess. KJ, all the way through this video, you keep sticking your tongue out. If that's all you need to do to get a doco and Netflix, you can have my PowerPoint tomorrow on the anti-KJ cult selling salty. Well, maybe we should do that, hey? So here we go. Do we want to look at it? Just trying to work out whether we want to do it. I think some of the comments are really good as well. Look at her. She's not happy at all. Not happy at all. Well, I'd like to get a documentary as well. I mean, I'd like a documentary why I'm the best. But so yes, that's correct. It's the pitch. So it looks like they took the same pitch to both Netflix and remember, I'm sure that we have a document somewhere where she was asked about any information and she said that she wasn't involved. Now, I could be wrong with that. So let's go here. I think you need to see this one. So she says, Robert Shinn must be stopped. And Jessie Bear says, sending hugs and love. Everyone now sees the truth via the doc. We know you are strong and will continue to seek and spread truth. Of course, everybody's like, keep up the great work. Yes, that's right. Interesting team in that photo. Correct. That's right, Shorter. You're in that industry, so you know better than most of us, or you probably know more than us about how it all works. And you would know better than most of us. I'm just going to take my glasses off and clean them. I know you can see me in the corner. You would know better than most of us how that all works. And you would also know about the highly regulated industry, and particularly if they're wanting to be the talent industry and that, about how regulated it is. And, you know, you have to be successful in that industry, you have to be prepared to sacrifice some stuff. And sometimes you have to sacrifice parents and family if you want to get to the top. You know, people, and the people that are successful are the ones that put all the hard work in it. I mean, whatever you want to say about Katie Joy is that she does put the work in. She sacrifices her family. I mean, she's what did she say? She's died to herself. She's put herself first. She's put the job first. Or their family. Die to self. She's done that. All right. I mean, I'm not one. I'm Cactus Bill will be able to talk more about the makeup, but it seems to be really dark down this side of the cheek. Oh. I might go back to Llama Girls because this is probably going to annoy me. Yeah. But you're right. It is. It is a very interesting. Here we go. Let's speed this up. Hang on. Oh, there must be more. There must be another one before that. Hang on. I've got to go back. I'm not making videos to lie about anybody. All right, where are we? Look at that face. Okay, yeah, here we go. Why on earth did she do that? What's that all about? Giddy up, horsey, giddy up. Oh dear, and I think she does show the pictures. Oh, she's still on it. Oh, gee whiz, it's been 2 weeks. What a really long 2 weeks that's been. Can you believe that? I feel like it's been out forever. Has it only really been out for has it only really been out for 2 weeks? Really? Oh, you knew how to say no before you went into the phrase order. It's been 2 weeks. 2 weeks. Okay. Really? Oh, you can't hear it? There's no audio? Oh, that'd be right. Oh, what a shame. Could you hear it before? I'm just going to stop this again and see whether it starts up again. All right. Really? Oh, what a shame. All right. Share audio. You can't hear either? All right. You mean I've got to start it again? Tell me if you can hear that.
I've not been able to go live on my Instagram for quite a while. And I want to update people. Hi. Hello. All right. So,
can you hear that? Yeah? Cool. Thank you. What was that clicking about though? I actually was going to look for subtitles short order. You might have wished that there were subtitles now.
hello. All right. So, it's been 2 weeks today since Dancing for the Devil, the 7M TikTok cult.
That's what I was saying. Has it only been 2 weeks? It feels like forever. It feels like it was a long time ago.
Released by Netflix. And I have been reporting on 7M for 2 years and 3 months. In that time, I have been sued, I have been slandered, I have been smeared, and I have been attacked by accounts that Robert Shinn is using to run a smear campaign against me.
So yes, apparently there's a smear campaign against her. So you tell me about that, eh? It does feel. I think it feels like years, Shaw to cook. I think it feels like years. Feels like years.
Robert Shinn is an alleged cult leader.
Now she's saying an alleged cult leader. I wonder whether she's had a conversation with her lawyer.
And he is at the center of our docuseries.
He's at the center of the docuseries. Really? I thought it was about getting Miranda out and home.
Worked on the docuseries as an archival consultant. And there has been an escalating pattern of behavior of Robert's trolls online. And I'm just putting this out there so that everyone knows that this is a game. And
this ain't no game, sweetheart. This ain't no game. Not when Miranda Derrick has suddenly come on and said she feels unsafe. I guess we're going to hear that someone else feels unsafe now. It's a new word she's learned. Too late, KJ. I love how all the KJ archive consultants are working for Shinn all of a sudden. I know. As I said, Plan to Create, I've not been on the payroll. Bit disappointed I'm not getting paid.
He wants people to be scared. He wants people to stop talking. He thinks if he sends threats,
here's my other issue. Right? Here's my other issue. Is that these are the victims. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 of them. There's 12 victims. This is a lot of hoo-ha for 12 alleged victims.
His spam accounts and his content creators that are working for him send threats to Kelly Wilking, Melanie Wilking, me, exposing 7M, stop culting, anything. He literally thinks that people will stop. Here's the thing. That series is on Netflix. That series is owned by Netflix. And that series isn't going to be taken down by Netflix. Everything in that series speaks for itself.
That's not what I've heard. Well, they're all supposed to be dancers, sure, or to cook, but they talked about, remember, she said in her post yesterday there were 4 from Shekinah, 3 from 7M, and 2 families that spoke out. So it should be about the church, not about 7M. The 7M people are in the minority.
By Netflix. Everything in that series speaks for itself.
That's not what I heard. I heard it proved nothing. Now, admittedly, she picks on the smaller ones because she's not brave enough to. Well, that is true. Plan to Create. I will admit again, I've not seen the series. I've watched several reviews of it. And I've seen mixed reviews. I've seen people that have bought it, and I've seen people that haven't. But as I keep reiterating, is that we're talking about 2 separate groups with 2 separate types of start dates, which we've shown, and for the fact that Melanie Lee was in the docuseries about something titled the 7M cult when she was out before 7M was actually formed. I have issues with. I also have issues with I was reading some of the documents today, and Miranda and James Derrick said that they joined 7M in 2020. It wasn't officially 7M until 2021. Few people who have done a commentary of it won't watch it so that they can get a perspective. Yeah. And then Plan to Create says, I thought it was a big nothing burger.
And what I think is really disturbing is that Robert Shinn has now employed somebody to send photographs from my neighborhood to a fake account without a crystal balls. It's without a crystal balls. She also goes by balls. And these accounts were only a couple days ago making Kelly feel like that her child was going to end up dead.
Actually, and Miss Balls actually showed what she posted. She showed the conversation, and what she did was she sent KJ's harassment of Miranda and said, how can you subscribe to this? Hey, Balls ain't a fake lady, says Peter. No, she's not. She's not fake. And Miss Balls is not somebody that I'd want to mess with either.
And when that attack on Kelly didn't work and it didn't stop Kelly, they started telling Kelly that my reporting was going to make Miranda end up dead, terrifying Kelly. When that didn't stop us, the next day Miranda comes out with
and it's interesting that she says when that didn't stop us. She brought herself into the discussion with, oh, gee, look at that face. I'll just pause it there for a while so you can just take that in. Does she actually think that Robert Shinn has time to organise a drive-by, let alone be? Yes, she does. Short order, she does. She believes that Robert Shinn does nothing but think about her day and night.
When that didn't stop us, the next day Miranda comes out with a video claiming she's getting messages telling her that that bad things are going to happen to her. So first they go after Kelly, then these same people apparently go after Miranda, and then Miranda does a video blaming her parents. Only a day before, Robert's trolls were terrifying Kelly.
Watch her instantly blame the Wilkins family if something happens to Miranda. Correct. So she's saying that these same sets of trolls are now going after everybody. No, we've all. But everybody that I have watched have said we think Robert might not be a nice man, but that doesn't mean that X, Y, Z. And that's what I'm saying. He might, if he has not reacted so far during this whole lawsuit, what makes her think he's suddenly going to do it? Well, she believes he has been, Peter. Everything that's happening to her is supposed to be her. And she does do a post later on where apparently one of the dogs. Oh, and I know that Cactus Bill, she's the animal person, but she talks about in a post, if I can find it, that one of the dogs attacked one of the cats, and that the cat had to be taken to hospital. So Toad had to take him to hospital, take the cat to hospital, and she had to pick up his son. Which begs the question, which my first response was, how could she pick him up from school if Toad's got the car at the vet? Watch her blame other archivists when anyone questions the veracity of the facts. Hearsay is not fact. Says Straw Order Cook, Plan to Create says she has absolutely no proof that Robbie is behind any of this. Hope it's brought up in court. And Peter says, Jennifer Cracker Biscuit, come get your client. Yes.
So Miranda's parents were getting terrified the day before. And then the next day, Miranda goes live and accuses her parents of causing these bad things to happen to her, while completely missing the fact that it's Robert Shinn that caused these problems.
She didn't say that her parents were behind it. She said, and we all heard it, that the relationship between her and her parents had probably not going to go as smoothly because of what's happened. She didn't blame her parents for what's happened. Sometimes I'm wondering whether I just lack full comprehension.
So, to say,
I mean, anybody that knows anything, you have to make the element of proof. You have to have evidence of proof. Apparently, Toad allegedly he was going through all the camera footage. But if somebody's standing on this, you can be parked outside their house and not be trespassing.
okay. Sorry, Netflix security is trying to help me right now. Okay.
Netflix security is trying to help. Netflix security? Netflix security?
Sorry, Netflix security is trying to help me right now. Okay.
Netflix security. Did she get locked out of a Netflix account? I don't know. Planet says Kato never comprehends anything, just twist it to a narrative. Netflix security.
Okay. Kelly is Miranda's mom. I'm sorry, I can't see all these comments. Okay. So I don't know who in my neighborhood is taking photographs of my house. I'm not sure who you are. I know that the photographs that were found by this account were not from Google Maps. They are not on Google Images. My home's images do not have a garage door open.
Interesting how she's gone through Google Images to see where they could have come from. And I'm surprised they actually leave their garage door open. Miranda can't understand why her family thought being involved with the doco would help mend their relationship. I wondered the same, Miranda. Correct your order. And that's what she said. That wasn't anything. So she needs two-factor authentication. See, I learned something from my IT job.
You don't see my car. You don't have a photograph of my front porch. But this is what they posted.
Oh, yes. So this is what she's showing. She stalked us. Yes, she stalks herself. Yes. Now, she reckons this is all woodworking stuff, by the way. She reckons this is all woodworking stuff. Because this is what was said about her being a hoarder. Looks like they're hoarders. And she said her husband's a woodworker. And does that look like woodworking stuff? So yeah, my question is, how can she be picking up V and Toad be at the vet with the cat if they've only got the one car?
So somebody in my neighborhood is walking around with a camera for Robert Shinn. Think of how psychotic you have to be in my neighborhood, taking photographs of my house for a cult leader.
Why complain to Netflix if you're in blasting that the series was hers all over the internet? She's inviting this, but it's okay for her to post Shinn's places and Miranda. That's the point. And don't forget, she did the Browns place that allegedly had those ambulances outside, or that care team. Remember the care team photo? That was okay, but somebody can't take a photo of her place. As I said, I'm not condoning it. I don't agree with it. But it's not psychotic when you do it, KJ. That's right.
So that they can post them online.
Look at the smirk on her face. Do you reckon she did it? Maybe she's got two personalities, and one personality's doing stuff to it. I mean, I've looked at that photo rather closely, and that looks like junk to me, but that does not look like woodworking stuff. Let's see if I can make it. See if I can zoom in a little bit more. See what we can make of it. But something that we do it. But yeah. Anyway, that looks like woodworking stuff. I mean, that doesn't look like woodworking stuff. I've seen woodworking stuff.
Whoever you are, we have doorbell. We have a Ring doorbell. We have cameras installed all over our house. I can't call it into police because, frankly, I don't know who did it.
I wonder if she'll tell her not to post the crap she does, and she will just ignore it like she did with her YouTube manager. Apparently, she's still listed in the online phone book, which is free. Interesting plan to create.
I've notified Netflix.
What's Netflix got to do with it? What? What's Netflix got to do with it? What's Netflix when you bought this on yourself?
I've notified Netflix. I've notified security. And I'm just saying to like whoever my neighbor is that's helping Robert Shinn, you're disgusting.
Can you see her now? Every time someone's going to walk past her house, she's going to be sitting on her porch going, "You know Robert Shinn." Netflix didn't do anything. Netflix didn't do anything about the baby reindeer situation. What makes you think they will help you delusional? Well, remember that Netflix is getting sued. Netflix are not responsible. They can't do anything about it, says Order Cook. And Peter says, new Netflix drama, hostage in Hanover. A YouTuber cannot leave her house. Oh, dear.
Like, you're so beyond disgusting. If you live in my town and you are helping this man, that is disgusting.
What? As I said, what on earth she called Netflix for? This is like you got court papers from the cult when they were online. Yeah, that's right.
I don't know anything about them. I don't know their identity. And I don't know who took the photos. So there's really nothing I can post other than someone took photos of my house, but I don't know who. You have to have like a person to accuse when you call the police. So I've gone through this before.
Who had this on their bingo card? You'll have the PowerPoint to pitch tomorrow.
They are affiliated with Robert Shinn. They have been shilling with Robert Shinn. That account was in touch with Isaiah Shinn very early on. They have been working for Robert Shinn, providing him information and helping him.
Really? She can't handle a couple of pics. How the hell does Miranda? That's right. And don't forget, she put the property that Shinn's property online as well with the address, and she's also put the listing numbers. There's a Beamer.
So it's just weird that I live on a dead end. This is what's weird, you guys. I live on a dead end. The street does not go through. I know every single one of my neighbors. I know everyone that lives on my street.
As I said, I can see she's going to go around accusing everybody now.
So you're either driving into my neighborhood and you're taking pictures of my house, or you're one of my neighbors and you're doing this, and that's disgusting. They are saying that because I did a reel, they said it's because I did a reel where I showed a listing of the house that Melanie lived at, which, by the way, was interior shots from a real estate listing.
She said Melanie lives in. She meant Miranda. Peter says, I know my neighbours through the multiple surveillance reports I have filed. Short Order Cook says, what's that smoke about? She's trying to intimidate someone she doesn't know. Correct. And Plan to Create says, but you're a public figure. You're free game. At least that's her excuse for doing it. That's right. But she says Melanie.
By the way, was interior shots from a real estate listing where I showed a listing of the house that Melanie lived at, which, by the way, was interior shots from a real estate.
Melanie. Yeah, but you showed the
listing. There was no exterior photographs, and it was a listing for a rental, so everything was empty. Okay? They're saying because I found photographs of that to explain how Matthew Shinn listed that property.
But he didn't list the property. He sold the property. It was listed by another group of people.
And I did not post anything beyond that.
Yes, you did.
They are saying that they have a right to scare me by posting photographs of my house. I don't have access to that. My husband is looking. And I'm not here to say that I'm going to call the police right now. I'm just saying let's.
So yes, she's posting Robert's house. That's right. Didn't she post Robert's house? And she posted the church or something. She had Didn't she have neighbours looking and sending her photos of Robert's house and the cars and everything? But that's okay.
I don't have access to that. My husband is looking. And I'm not here to say that I'm going to call the police right now. I'm just saying literally these are the tactics that this cult has been using for years. So they're trying to silence and scare anyone that speaks. And this is why it's been so hard for people to speak out, because this is what they do.
Yep, she had someone drive by and take photos. Girl needs a big cup of cold coffee and calm down. She does, Peter. And Julianne, yes, she did have somebody drive by. And she got sent those photos from the Brown's house. But that's okay.
But if you're one of my neighbors and you're in my house or you're on the street and you're taking photographs of my house, that's just weird.
Well, there's no interior pictures, actually. What's the deal now with not calling? Well, that's right, because wouldn't you call the police and say these photos have come online? Unless, of course, she can't call the police because they won't deal with it.
He is using the scare tactics again.
She needs to get FBI Steve on the case.
And this is what he's been doing to the Wilkins for years.
It's only been 2 years, hasn't it? Not years. Imagine if the police.
I didn't get the footage.
Plan to Create says, no wonder she gets sued, blaming Robert, no proof. Everyone knows it's not Robert. Well, don't forget, he's also dealing with a California lawsuit and also trying to keep a business running? Do you really think he wants to spend time going after a Minnesotan housewife?
Years. I didn't get the footage. That was literally just posted on Twitter.
It's called X now.
It's probably a drone. I don't know. I don't know who took the photographs. I'm not going to reach. It was literally just up.
She's got a filter on it. She's got a filter, hasn't she?
Why are people like, I haven't had a chance. My husband has access to the footage. I've answered this question 4 times. I am coming on here to share. We have a Ring. I don't need my neighbor's Ring footage. I have Ring on my, we have.
It's a wonder she hasn't contacted Elon. She's not happy. Didn't she blame Todd and Tardy of something similar? It's all rinse and repeat. Yes, Julianne. She accused them both of a smear tactic and smear campaign, and
We have, okay.
She's getting mad now.
I need to.
Blockity, blockity, block. Blockity, blockity, block. Let me block over here. Let me block over there. Let me block you. Do you know if she said nothing, probably none of it was any of the wiser. Yeah, she'll order cook. Blockity, blockity, block. Plan to create says, poor me, poor me, poor me. It's nothing compared to what she's done to Miranda, and I can't believe she can't see this. And her husband has the ring on. But A, you don't know when the photos were taken. 2, you don't know where they were taken, and I don't think they would have been stupid enough to stand on your property. And I believe you can't just put cameras that can see the whole street. It has to be to your property. So, is she going to now ask the local government to put cameras on the street now for them? Could you imagine though being the neighbours and getting the blame for all of it? She's going to blame you now for taking her photos.
Okay, I'm turning off commenting. Sorry about that. I appreciate everything.
Oh, she's turning off comments now. Are they recent photos? Katie hasn't said. No, that's right. She hasn't said whether it's a recent photo. She obviously doesn't know.
Everyone's support, and I'm not here to I don't like to argue with my live chat, and I don't like to take things out on people. I'm just going to say this, I'm coming on here to share the tactics that Robert Shinn has been using. It doesn't surprise me that someone in this neighborhood would take a photograph because they want to be a part of the story and they think they're some big person, big shot. They're going to get back at Katie or something. I don't know my neighbors very well. I mean,
hang on. That's right. The pride flag was in. Didn't she say just earlier that she knew all her neighbors? Hang on.
Story, and they think they're some big person, big shot. They're going to get back at Katie or something. I don't know my neighbors very well. I mean,
did we hear her say before that she knows all her neighbors because she lives in a dead end street? Is that what she said? Or am I just totally missing something here? She can't keep her. Yes, I saw a photo of the pride flag. Yep, she said, I know all my neighbors. Now she doesn't know her neighbors. Thank you. I thought I was going insane. I know I'm probably
We're
already
going to get back at Katie or something. I don't know my neighbors very well. I mean, I know who they are, but I'm not like super good friends with any of the neighbors around here. We keep to ourselves, and we're raising an 11-year-old boy that has a disability.
Oh, we had to bring that up, didn't we?
I live in a very small town. There are 3,000 people here. The development that I live in is not that large at all. Maybe 250 houses. There's farms all around.
So essentially it could be one of 250 people. Play the sun card again. Yep, shield activated. Yep.
So if you're coming into my neighborhood and you're taking photographs of my house and you're trying to help Robert Shinn, that's disgusting.
Oh,
I have ring footage. I haven't called the police. I have Netflix security working on it. I'm just trying my best right now to share with you what they're doing.
that would have to be in the last year because her BMW. That's right. It has to be since she's had the Beamer. That's right. Now she's telling everyone everything anyway. So. And she's got Netflix security on it. Is that like FBI Steve?
I do have ring footage. I haven't called the police. I have Netflix security working on it. I'm just trying my best right now to share with you what they're doing. So they started on 2 days ago. 2 days ago, they started telling Kelly that my reporting was going to result in Miranda ending up being killed.
Didn't she just say this? She repeated herself again.
They got her so terrified. Truth, like spamming her, these same accounts that posted my photograph of my house, spamming her, saying that I doxed Miranda.
So I just checked out Netflix security under social media. It says to be careful what you share online.
Then they go and retaliate by doxing me, which is whatever. I didn't dox Miranda. And they then spam Kelly saying, we're going to kill your daughter. Your daughter.
That's not what that says. I wonder though if they are recent. Maybe that's why she hasn't called the police, because they're not recent photos. So she'll order cook. Plan to create. So she wants to be famous and send paparazzi her way. Yeah, I think that seems to be what it looks like.
Daughter's going to end up dead. People are going to show up at her house and murder her. I mean, the kind of crap they're sending to her to make her scared is atrocious. And these accounts are all working for Robert Shinn. And if
so, she's repeating it in case they didn't get it the first time. But we're embellishing it more, aren't we?
They're not working for Robert Shinn, they're lying. Because Robert Shinn, when this all started, reached out to a bunch of content creators and troll accounts to help him troll me and run a smear campaign.
I'd love to see her evidence. I'd love to see the evidence that she's got for that. Same, the links for Netflix security talk about how to keep your account safe. Or maybe it's a secret number. Why would he do that? I mean, why would he do that if he's decided to do I know Robert Shinn missed us, I know. But why would he have done a lawsuit if he was going to get all these troll accounts done?
And that Balls account is 100% in his pocket. They probably aren't even getting paid, but they will post anything in retaliation to try to scare me. So again, this is what happens. 2 days ago, they start threatening Kelly. Kelly gets terrified. Kelly's like, I don't know what I'm going to do anymore. The next day, Miranda goes live after those accounts that are working for the cult terrify her mom, posts a video saying that her mom is the cause of all of the threats that she is getting. So it's not just that they're telling her, you're causing Miranda to get these threats. They're telling her Miranda's going to end up murdered. And then the next day, Robert has Miranda post a video claiming that these people are going to kill her.
She's repeating. She's just repeating the same thing she said at the start. Planchette says she's delusional. Julianne says she better have proof. Smack facts. Thunderclap says, what's wrong with her head? I'm not trying to be mean, but wow. Peter says Kelly's threats are real, but Miranda's aren't. Okay, sounds legit. Yeah, of course. Because apparently it's all of us trolls that are doing it.
And it's her parents' fault for making a documentary. Today they post my address or my pictures of my house.
No, they didn't post. Your address wasn't posted, but it's all out there. Because you've told everybody that it's KJ wants to attack and cause 7M pure hell, but now she's a victim. That says short order. They didn't put your address out there, but you've just told everybody how many people live in your area. You've just told everybody that there's lots of farms. You've just told everybody information so that if they wanted to find you, they could.
In retaliation to make me feel unsafe. And that's what this cult has been doing for years because, and this is why people are scared to speak out. I'm not intimidated by Robert Shinn. I feel a lot of like embarrassment for my neighbor who's doing this. Like, if you think that you're cool for taking photographs of my house, that's just weird. If you know us, you know that I have a child that has a disability.
That's got nothing to do with it.
I hope it makes you feel good. If you think like you have some righteous power and you think you're helping, you're not.
Well, you need to remember that you have a child with a disability too.
In like the city that my husband's kid goes to school with, that has been sent.
She says the school that my husband kids go. Listen, have a listen.
There's literally someone that lives in like the city that my husband's kid goes to school with, that
my husband's kid goes to school with. I don't know why it would be a neighbour. Have a listen to it again.
There's literally someone that lives in like the city that my husband's kid goes to school with, that has been sending photos to this group for years. And she tries to attend every single hearing for my lawsuit because she...
Really? There's literally someone that lives in the city. My husband's kid goes to school. Let's have a listen to it again.
There's literally someone that lives in like the city that my husband's kid goes to school with, that has been sending photos to this group for years.
Again, there's no evidence. Her husband has another kid, says Julianne. Says, why not her kid now, KJ? Smack says, and Planchette says, I think someone just did a drive-by. And Short Order Cook says, I thought the same thing to Plan Create. Yes. Oh, now we know who. Oh, so now we know who she's blaming, says Peter. Yes, she's blaming the other one that she's threatened.
And she tries to attend every single hearing for my lawsuit because she thinks that Robert Shinn I'm lying about Robert Shinn, and I'm trying to take Robert Shinn down. Have you watched the docu-series, people? Okay. As far as checking the footage, I'm not super... Jesse's a moderator. I'm not super concerned like about my husband will do that. I don't have access to that. We literally have cameras all over our house. So we will look through all of the footage, and when we figure out who it is, if we know who it is, we will contact police. We have literally cameras installed in the front of our house, and not just at the doorbell. It's like we have cameras all around the house because of what I do for a living.
Because of what she does for a living. Slander and smears people.
So if you're on my property, or if you're on the ground, or if you're on the street and you're taking photographs of my house to post online, and we find it and we know who you are, we will call the police.
I don't believe, and so Short says, what's her agenda? I think she's forgotten. She can't remember who she's attacking now. Yeah. And Peter says, no, it's so you can avoid process service. And Tats makes threats, thumbs claps, rolling their eyes. Well, I don't know if you can, I mean, the person hasn't entered the property. I don't believe you can be stopped from taking photos in a public area.
And we find it and we know who you are, we will call the police. So I think it's just really important to not engage with these accounts. If you see photographs like that posted, report them.
Report them. So now she's asking people to, now she's calling on being mass reporting.
He is becoming very desperate.
Short says, I wonder how many people got blocked on the stream.
And it's escalating. And it's obvious that he's becoming desperate because of the tactics that he's taking. I hope you understand that, like, the families that are involved in this weren't doing this solely for their children.
External pictures on Google Earth anyway. Her address is found easily online, so not sure what the police would do. Interesting point. Yeah. Wouldn't they tell her just to get offline? And I mean, all right, let's just say she calls the police and they go, and she talks about this Robert Shinn guy and that he's suing her. I mean, do you really think the police are going to believe the story? That somebody who is suing somebody, yeah.
You know, like Melanie and Kelly and Dean, I know did this because if they could help any other person get out, if they could prevent this group from recruiting one more dancer or one more teen or one more 20-something into this group, it would be worth it. If speaking out could result in criminal charges coming forward, law enforcement coming in, the FBI doing an investigation, it would be worth it. Everything that's being posted right now is some sort of game for him. And it's as far as like Melanie sent a text message, Melanie talked to People Magazine, and she said that she sent Miranda a text message, but Miranda didn't respond.
She's still going.
And as far as like, I don't believe she's spoken to her parents at all.
Can the lawyer ask this in depositions? Is he recruiting us to do this? I think so. I mean, hey, Peter, we all could have to be deposed. And we all may need to be deposed and go to Minnesota to give evidence. Hello, Nipes. Nigel Vane, it's not against the law to post a picture of someone's house. Police can't do anything. And Short Order Cook says, interesting, if KJ was so sure it was Robert Shinn as she is, why won't she get a cease and desist to Shinn? Because she's not sure at all. Correct. Well, I don't know. Yes, you would think that she would send out a letter or get her lawyers onto it and or get something into the court to stop him from doing something. Why hasn't she taken out a restraining order against him? No, they can get me via my Netflix account. I hear they have good security. See, I don't have Netflix, so they'd have to, as I said, first class tickets to Minnesota. I'm more than happy to go. I'm trying.
I would just say that if you see them, flag them, report them. You can report the Balls account on Twitter. You can report her account on Instagram.
Oh, wow. She's telling everyone to mass report. Wow. Isn't that against TOS?
What she's actually doing is a violation of the terms of service.
She's talking about terms of service. Well, I thought asking people to flag accounts was also against the terms of service.
If I'm doing a report and something is reported, she will call that a dox. Reporting is not actually doxing. What she's doing today is actually doxing.
No, it's not.
So doxing is something where you release private or you release information about someone for the sole purpose of malicious intent.
Anyone that drives down your street knows what the front of your house looks like. It's not private. If it was photos of the inside of your house, I would say, yes, you've got something to complain about because someone has actually breached your privacy. But this is outside of the house. It's outside the house. Anybody can see it. So releasing a sealed court case is not malicious. Well, apparently not to her. Okay, KJ's no excuse not to get a cease and desist none. She needs this thrown in her threads. Yes.
Reporting on someone selling a house, property listings, business records, those types of public records, that's not doxing, and it's not done with malicious intent. If I'm posting that Miranda's house is leased through Shinn Real Estate, it is to help people understand that she is still under Robert's control.
Oh, okay. But it wasn't leased through Robert Matthew Shinn's real estate. We've proven that. We've disproven that fact. We found it's a different real estate agent. He sold the property. And she could report that without actually putting the number, the listing number there so that people could check it up.
No, Miranda's still in. James Derrick is still in. Vic is still in. Tight Eyes is still in. Kendra is still in. And Nick Reno is still in.
Well, we made Ball's report on your house because she's under our control. Short Cook says, is she listening to what she's saying? How does posting someone's house getting people to understand what? She's Delulu.
Yeah, I think this is true. They said they purposely attacked her mom to scare her, and so she would believe Miranda when she made her video, thinking she'll freak out and try to help Robert shut all this down. Nice try, fake pastor. The Wooden Eagle account is another one that's just disgusting and psychotic. Coco Shuffles, I don't know what's going on with Coco, but she was affiliated. I'm not super interested in like naming them because they get excited when I say their names, and
yes, and I get very upset that I'm not named. Oh, come on, I want to be named.
Like naming them because they get excited when I say their names and it gives them more attention. I'm just specifically talking about the Balls account. And then there's another one, WOACB versus WOACB. That was one of the accounts that was terrifying Kelly.
Really? What, because they used Katie's own words?
And they're like mocking the victims. They're mocking the survivors. They're victim blaming. They're going after Kylie. They're going after Melanie. They're going after Priscilla.
Really? I'm excited. I'm so excited. And I just can't hide it. I know. You think about me. Whoa. Nobody's victim blamed. I've always had my against the name of the documentary. You started this, KJ. Deal with it. That has been my point all along, and that I haven't seen the evidence. I've not seen any evidence. Now, admittedly, there is documents in her court case, that she's filed, that she's had put under seal, because apparently she doesn't want us to see whatever that was. But for the most part, I've not seen evidence that proves anything that's been done. And I'll reiterate, Robert Shinn could be a horrible man. He could have had multiple affairs, but that's not illegal. All right.
Gordon and Alexandria left. Anyone that supports Robert Shinn and is making videos to like come after me has no credibility. If you're
oh dear.
a creator defending Robert Shinn and acting like these people are free and they're not in danger, you have no credibility. And you're literally helping a man hurt people.
Apparently, I've got no credibility. That's okay. I can live with that. I just want the truth out there.
I would rather be on the right side of the story and get attacked all day long and be threatened than be on the wrong side of the story supporting crime.
The right. What's the right side of the story? Oh well, I'd rather not get. I would rather not have to be sued. To be honest with you. You're on the wrong side of Tardy. You did not learn anything.
I don't know what. I have no idea what the police are going to do with Miranda. That's up to Miranda.
Where are all the charges for these crimes? That's the issue. That's the other thing planned to create. There's no charges. There's been no charges, and we've gone through what the standard of proof is for each of those crimes. And I mean, I don't know enough of them. I haven't read the reports. But as far as I can tell, it would be a he said, she said type situation. And I can't, and they're very hard to get convictions on. Look at in Australia today, Jared Hayne walked out of prison today. He had his fourth appeal. He's had four. They've ruled out a fourth trial for him because they've decided they really don't have enough evidence for him. And that was ended up being a he said, she said.
Miranda can call the police if she feels like she's in danger. That's up to her. Hi, Tim. Park set up. Oh.
I mean, why haven't they set up a support group? If they're really serious about this, why hasn't there been a support group set up? Here's the other question. Here's the other thing that I've got. Why on earth why would Robert Shinn be only attacking KJ and not the two Haleys, the other people? It's a conviction she's hoping for. She has a lawsuit she has to win or she's screwed, and she will do anything to win, even if she's the criminal. Yeah. Because she wasn't the only archival consultant. And why is Tim not catching Haley Kelly? Correct. There's lots of people not catch. Yeah.
No, there's not a support group. Hi, Angela. No, there's not a support group. There's not a no. The people, and this is a very small church. Very, very, very small.
Why didn't Shinn drive past Netflix building and take a photo? Correct. Why hasn't he gone for Netflix? Why hasn't he gone for the producers of the show? or the director. So I'll just repeat that. It's only a very, very small group, she says.
Very small church. Very, very, very small. The doc was far more than about Miranda. It wasn't, Miranda's story was one featured, but it wasn't about Miranda so much as it was about Robert. And one day when Miranda is out and when she's away from his influence and she's away from the influence of the mentors, she will realize how much her family loves her and how much risk they took to try to save her.
Oh, thank you. Hunter Craig says that's an excellent point, Joe. He's suing them as well. Yes. And he would have also have gone after the ex-dancers that have left, that he's also suing. And Shorter says Shinn isn't causing this show. KJ is. She's deflecting. She is. Maybe one day KJ will realize that maybe Miranda left because the family is toxic, and she, who has distanced herself from her family because she says that they're toxic, that's what KJ says, her family is toxic, will sympathize with Miranda.
One day when she's able to get away from it all, she will thank them for what they've done to try to help her. And also, I'll just say this.
What if she's wrong? Last clip uploading. Llama girl. Got these. All right, here's the last video now. Last 7 minutes.
Trafficking.
Oh,
generally speaking, if you're an influencer and something comes out that your management team is involved in sexual assault and possible human trafficking, generally speaking, most influencers would fire that manager and would go their separate ways.
no, you would actually wait and find out whether there was any evidence for those claims. Because who was it that says anyone can file anything about anybody that may not be true? So you wouldn't fire someone because there's been allegations. You need to find out whether those allegations are true or not. I love how she thinks she knows what Miranda is thinking and what she will do, says Plain to Create.
And find someone new to take care of them. There's a million talent agencies out there. There's a million different managers out there. There's licensed people you can work with that are under SAG and through the state of California. The fact that they're not leaving despite those allegations should tell you something.
But they're just allegations. That is my point. Maybe Miranda will dump all 7M and her family and start her own cult with us, says Peter. Maybe. That sounds like fun. All right, so based on her own, let's just say based on her own reasoning, it is alleged by Shinn that she makes up gossip and is salacious gossip for clicks and views. So why would I then think that she was credible? She said he was a human trafficker. She did say that, yes. Victim blaming at its finest there, says Plan to Create. But based on her own reasoning, there's allegations over her head. But she says, I'm innocent. Well, he says he's innocent. I don't know what's true or not. If it's been reported, you have to let the system do its job. So out of how many talent agencies, how many could get them work? And the other thing is, you've also got to remember that there might be a million talent agencies, but if you don't have the talent or you're no good, you're still not going to get anywhere. She thinks she knows what everyone thinks is short order cook.
I just hope that one day she does wake up. But we can't necessarily focus on the people that are still in because they're going to stay.
Why are you going after Miranda? Like, why have you been posting Miranda's house and going after Miranda and criticizing her and everything? Why on earth have you been doing that then?
Nothing that we say or do right now is going to change that. You're an influencer on TikTok and you took a pause since you watched the documentary. I don't know why you would need to take a pause.
You need a reputation and deliver on talent you represent, correct?
Yeah, in the documentary series, you hear people literally talking about being assaulted and essayed, and somehow the people that are still in his group are staying, and they're saying it's lies. Robert is...
How many times has she said Miranda? I know it's not about Miranda, but it's about Miranda, right? But it's not about Miranda, but it's about Miranda.
Dictating who is on and who is off. And I've honestly been asked by the families assaulted and essayed, and somehow the people that are still in his group are staying, and they're saying it's lies. Robert is dictating who is on and who is off. And I've honestly been asked by...
But isn't that the job of the talent manager, to put the right people in the right job? So not everyone's going to get the job that they want. They're going to put the right talent in the right job. So some people will be off at a time and some people will be on at a time. That's the job of a talent manager. Please tell me that that's your understanding.
Robert is dictating who is on and who is off. And I've honestly been asked by the families to not focus on the dancers and to focus on Robert. Because at the core of this, it's a Robert account. It's a...
Oh, so the families have told have told her to leave the dancers alone. Yet she's still going after Miranda.
Robert problem. It's a Robert problem. What the dancers are saying and what's being posted online, that's all a Robert problem.
She's fascinated with Shinn, isn't she? Do you think she calls out his name in her sleep? Yep, I've had to turn away 120 extras who have turned up dressed and ready, looking fabulous, because the director has decided to use only 2 people, not 100. It sucks, but it happens. No short order. No short order. It's because you're in a cult. She did say a lot right there, didn't she? She said a lot right there. And it doesn't make her look good, in my opinion.
It's a Robert problem. What the dancers are saying and what's being posted online, that's all a Robert problem. And paying attention to their content and all of that just helps Robert. Everything that's being posted online is directed by Robert. If James isn't speaking, it's because Robert said he can't speak.
Nobody would ever tell me when I couldn't speak. Don't care who you are. Actually, a lot of males in particular are very intimidated by me because apparently I'm a strong, opinionated woman, and that upsets a lot of men because apparently I should be saying yes sir, no sir, 2 bags full sir. So the management company is supposed to not manage the dancers. That's what she's saying. Plan to create. And there would be times I can see also why for work purposes, particularly with shows and stuff, the actors and stuff, they are told what they should be talking about, what the talking points are. It's that laugh, Joe, so intimidating. I know. No, it's the sarcasm. Cuts through like a knife. Where they'll say you're going to have this press conference, you can answer these questions, but you can't answer these questions. This question happens a lot in sportings. If you see the press conferences after an AFL game, there's actually a media manager standing at the side and will jump in if somebody asks a question that the coach is not supposed to answer. Happens. You watch at the Olympic Games and the interviews with athletes and stuff. There'll be a media manager there. So to make sure that the appropriate questions are asked or not asked. So again, part of the entertainment business is having somebody there to make sure that you're not saying anything that you shouldn't be saying. And in the interests of the company. If Short Order was working on a production and Short Order was going to do an interview, there would be talking points that she'd be given to say what she can and can't say. That's standard. You can't say this because that's going to give away the plot line, or you can answer about this, you can do this, you can do that. It's what happens. Entertainment industry is a very highly regulated industry. There is an Olympic athlete, very successful. He's in another career now, who won't do any interviews that talks about their Olympic career because they never got a gold medal in the Olympic career and thought that they were a failure. And they will talk about anything. They're happy to talk about their new career, but their Olympic career, which I think is ridiculous, but it is not a negotiable. And they refuse to answer anything on that.
Everything that's being posted online is directed by Robert. If James isn't speaking, it's because Robert said he can't speak. If Reno is deleted, it's because he's been told he had to delete his social media. If
maybe he didn't want to be put in the same. See, I don't understand that, because if they were deleting social media, wouldn't they have all deleted their pages? Like, why is Miranda, who's come out and said she's had death threats, Why is her page still up? But Rayno's, who, as far as I know, hasn't had anything, has been deleted. That makes no sense. Because if anyone was going to have their pages deleted, it'd be Miranda. None of this makes any logical sense.
Vic is posting videos with his mom right now. It's because he's been told to post a video with his mom right now. If Miranda's posting that she's getting threats, it's because Robert Shinn has been telling her that she needs to post the video saying that she's getting threats.
Even 7M management does at least share the jobs over the dancers. Correct. It seems to be. And it seems to be only a small management companies so that they can get the most amount of work.
So Vic is still involved. Vic is going to try to get out of this and sneak out of it and without being, he's going to try to skate through this because he's the biggest money maker for Robert. And that's why he changed his talent agency today and posting videos with his mom, trying to show you guys everything's normal. See, I'm not involved in the cult, even
Hi there, Lulu.
though he is.
As I said, Short Order Cook, I know, works in the entertainment industry and referred to about having to turn away works as a director, has said that she works as a director's assistant. So she would be, she's our expert on the entertainment industry because she actually works in it. And would know how a lot of this stuff works.
Again, I'm not going to ask or answer questions about the dancers.
Have I checked court's filings? Yes, I have checked the court filings because I actually went and got the other stuff from the court filings, the document today, the one that had the blurb in it that we looked at before. But I have another check because but no, there's nothing. I mean, you'd make my day if there was a gag order there, but she would fight it all the way. Would she really risk a contempt of court? No, there's nothing there. But see, if he's got a case in if he's got a court date in the California case coming up. Oh yes, that's right, Lily. Yes, you did. I know. I did get it. I'm sorry. Yes, I know you did, and I remember seeing it, and I meant to reply.
This is about Robert. It's about Robert. Robert doesn't believe he can do business as normal, and that's why all of this is happening right now. Robert is likely very scared that his businesses are drying up. The influencers aren't going to be able to make him as much money, and he's going to try to scare all of us to stop. But I will say this, Robert, balls. You can post whatever you want to post, Robert. You can threaten and send all these accounts after people. You can try to terrify the Wilkins. You can try to terrify me. You can try to terrify exposing or stop culting or whoever, or victim blame and shame and degrade. But none of that will stop Netflix from taking down that series.
The court might. A court might. A judge might. Just saying. And Netflix might decide it's not worth it either. Netflix may take it down.
Even if you sued them, they wouldn't take down the series.
They would if they were court ordered to. They would. Because they would not want to go through a court case. They would rather settle, and if settling meant taking down the series, they would do it.
If you sued them, that would be ridiculous because of all the evidence they have.
What if evidence? What evidence? Do you know, of all the articles and all the reviews and everything about the thing, no one has talked about the evidence. I've not seen one article written that talked about this volume of evidence that was supposed to be. I've heard people say that there was a voice that heard and it wasn't sure that if it was Shinn, but they assume it was Shinn. I've heard stuff, telling about the fact that they told their stories. But and everybody that I've spoken to that have seen it, Netflix does not have evidence. Production company has the evidence, allegedly, Peter.
The IRS has been involved for a couple of years. I don't know what's going on with the IRS.
I mean, why on earth would you be trying to interfere? If people are investigating, why are you trying to interfere with it? Haha, she hopes the evidence is looked at. I mean, you don't see, from my understanding, you don't actually see Shinn's face at all preaching. There's no video of him preaching. It's just the voice. But do you know that it's his voice? The IRS would not tell if they were investigating. Correct. So it's just a man's voice that is believed. That's obviously, but unless you know his voice, and who said it's his voice? She's pretty game speaking on behalf of Netflix. Yeah, I mean, Netflix have to. Surely at some point in time, Netflix is going to see that she's a liability. They'll have to take away her security. Unless, of course, Netflix security guards the IRS too.
If you need backstory about the cult and all of this involved, make sure to check the page. Matthew Ryan, I'm not going to share that because that is not allowed for me to talk about.
I don't know what he said.
If you have questions, you can DM me. But I don't think that your division of the Department of Justice can help us because this is we need someone from the Department of Justice in Los Angeles. But I can't disclose discovery or reveal any details about the lawsuit.
Me panties to Netflix security cards. She doesn't answer DMs. Like
All right, I gotta go. Thank you. I haven't been able to go live on my Instagram forever, so it's nice to finally be able to go live.
Has she been shadow banned? She never actually told them that she went live on TikTok, did she?
I don't even think. Yeah. Bye.
Finally. Hallelujah.
So,
all right, because she shared the photos, let's go back and look at this. So remember, yesterday she shared about that, and then that's the neighbour, that's the Browns. Yeah, so here, yeah, right. What there was something else I thought I needed to show you. You reckon she's had a strike? She's had to have had a strike. She's had to have had a strike. Because why else would she say she hasn't been able to go live? But I do agree, she's got to have had a strike somewhere. See, this was, and if you remember, 7M lost this because the judge didn't think she'd be so stupid. But she said there was an email a number of times that you asserted that neither party would talk about the other publicly during the pendency of the case. But I reviewed our email converse, and the only thing we agreed is not to disclose online contact information of the parties or their attorneys. If you have a different written agreement than the one I just described, will you please send a copy of it so I can review it? So they agreed not to give contact details online. So do you think maybe her lawyers wouldn't let her go live? Well, that's true, Flame to Create. This is all Robert's fault. Do you think that what she posted of Miranda and James was a breach of that they actually have an agreement not to post? The only thing we agreed was not to disclose online contact information of the parties. Then she said, so this was August 23, 2022. Mr. Martin, this email being sent as an attempt to meet and confer regarding several issues regarding the 7M and without a crystal ball litigation. I've been informed that your client was on another social media spree wherein she spread false information about my clients and their associates last night. One such post of 2 dancers she talked about in the post explicitly told her the post was false, and her reaction was to taunt them and state the information was her opinion instead of taking down the false information. I have been informed that your client has a documentary deal with Netflix and that she has been advised to post about my clients in an effort to promote the documentary. Previously, we have discussed, so they knew. Previously, we discussed by email that neither of our clients would talk about the other on social media. It is clear your client has no intention of refraining from the lies about my client. As such, we will not be responding to your discovery requests or issue our Rule 26 disclosures until either a protective order is issued by the court for the information disclosed by my clients. You have requested highly sensitive information. You're correct, Sandy Shorts. She would have shown it a million times. And then she says, I'll be, and the basis of this lawsuit is that your client is spreading falsehoods and discussing confidential information to third parties. If you're interested in agreeing to a stipulation to confidentiality, please let me know. And then she said that she wanted to get a protective order. Received, I will communicate with her about those items. Presumably, you've had the same conversations with your clients regarding online information. I note that they have changed the contents of their website very recently to recharacterize what they do. I hope they too are preserving any irrelevant evidence to the allegations of the parties. Oh, that was August. No, that was August 23, and then that was So good afternoon, Emma. So he never actually talked about. I appreciate the reach out about the other matters we'll discuss with my clients and get back to you. So then we had this one. I'm not sure if you received the order of motion to dismiss. That's that one. We've received the order. We've reviewed it with our clients and considering the impact on the case. As to your contention, I understand why you're seeking a stipulation to extend discovery. If your clients would like to discuss settlement instead at this juncture, I think that would be fruitful. So he's offered settlement. As stated in the previous emails, unless we can stipulate. Yes, that's right. Hi Amber, my client remains disinterested in the proposed stipulations. We're already working on an answer. So she questioned them about the Netflix stuff. And Lulu says, why did she decide to dox Miranda? Well, it's interesting because in that thing, she said that the parents have asked her to leave the current dancers in there. So I'm finding it very, This was exhibits, the second affidavit of Amber Stavik, dated the 14th of the 11th, 2022, and it was part of, let me just pull this up, it was document 52. Document 52, this one here. Oh no, affidavit of attorney, memorandum. Sorry, yes, it was part of an affidavit that Amber had filed to the court, and I think it was to do with so that's what that was. And it just had all the whole pile of correspondence in there. But as far back as, let's have a look again. So I would imagine she would have sent an email. I could just imagine. So this was the Tuesday, 23rd of August, 2022. She asked about the Netflix documentary in a letter, and he did not acknowledge that. So she said, additional be a requesting judge or against your client posting on social media or discussing the case or my client's affiliates to any third party, including Netflix producers and others she may have contacted with a motion to, So that was in August because they lost that one. The judge, if you remember, didn't think that anyone would be stupid enough to actually breach that order. So assuming that Miranda isn't part of the documentary, she thinks she's fair game. But the whole point is Miranda's pictures was part of the cover. How can she not be part of the documentary when her parents were all part of the first, was part of episode 1? I just don't understand. Oh, I know, Jay. That's what I'm saying. She's trying to find a loophole. Miranda may not be in the doco. Yeah. Oh, that's what I mean. I know that's how she's trying to justify what she did. So if you remember, the above came for hearings on the various motions. So the plaintiff's motion for default judgment was denied, for temporary injunctions denied, and the amended scheduling order was denied. If you remember rightly. But they did put in this protective order that any party can designate the document as confidential. I would say most of them would be highly confidential, attorney eyes only. Confidential. And then it's interesting. It could be very interesting. Well, I mean, they've got to have broken contempt proceedings can be done by a motion. So let's have a look. What is contempt of court? Okay, so civil contempt of court describes behaviour that disobeys or ignores. So if someone fails to comply with court order in a Minnesota family law case, they can be found to be direct or indirect contempt. When someone disobeys a court order in front of a judge, they commit direct contempt. The judge can punish them right away. When one disobeys a court order somewhere else, they commit indirect contempt. For example, the parent doesn't pay child. In these cases, the other party file a motion for contempt with the court, which will then schedule a hearing. If the court finds that the accused party did violate the court order, they may be ordered to comply, pay fines, or temporarily be imprisoned. Civil contempt is not meant to punish the offender, but to encourage compliance with court orders. So possibly. So you've got criminal contempt, involves with willful disregard to the court's authority. In Minnesota, criminal contempt of court can be either direct or indirect. So if it's a willful disregard. So direct criminal contempt refers to an act of contemporaneous behaviour that occurs in the courtroom. It includes a intentional or deliberate act that is disrespectful, so whatever it would be, it'd be indirect contempt. Indirect occurs when someone violates the court order and disregards court authority. For example, someone who repeatedly violates a restraining order may face imprisonment. Defendants charged with criminal contempt receive this by the Sixth Amendment, including right to jury trial. So, yeah, I'm not sure about the online laws in what happens in Minnesota. Oh, here we go. They've just had some new laws brought in, apparently. It's comprehensive consumer data privacy. Oh yeah, it's just they've got new privacy now. Looks like they've caught up with the with us. Like you've got to have opt-outs on everything like that now, which they didn't have. Minnesota crime is. Oh, we want cybercrime, don't we? I won't be on for about. Okay, I can be up early in the morning. All right. So let's have a look at cybercrime. I don't know whether any of this is any good. I'm just trawling them. All right, is committed through that. So that's identity theft, computer damage. Okay, we don't want that. Unauthorized computer access, no. Criminal use of encryption. So yellow telephone, no. Credit card fraud, no. Cyberbullying. Cyberbullying occurs when someone sends intimidating, threatening, abusive, obscene or harassing phone calls are a misdemeanor, and penalties include a fine of up to $1,000, up to 1 year of jail. Both harassment is handled through court-issued restraining orders. Besides paying for the victim's court fees, defendant will face penalties violating. So that is and cyber stalking is the repeated use of electronic communication to harass and fraud. Stalking may be punished as a gross misdemeanor or felony, depending on the conduct of both. If the defendant is found guilty of a gross misdemeanor, they may face imprisonment for up to 1 year and fines up to $3,000 by contrast. If the defendant is found guilty of a felony, they may face imprisonment of up to 5 years and a fine of $10,000. So it's got to be done through the courts by the looks of it. And if they ask for your device, so harassment is handled through a court-issued restraining order. So again, my point is, if She's blaming Robert Shinn on all of this stuff. Why hasn't she taken out a restraining order on him? If she's allegedly got all this evidence. Oh, wait on. Here's where we've got, oh, this is the judgment. This is where the judge does it exactly. This was, so when I talked about the memorandum and the judge saying that it was denied, right? This says, it was amended, yep. I want to look in here. So it says, on the 26th of plaintiff's brought motion seeking temporary injunction against defendants' continued posting about the matter. The plaintiffs brought a default judgment. So plaintiff's motion for default judgment. We looked at that. I want to look at the injunction. Temporary injunctions are governed by rules of civil procedure. Hello, Ginger. Okay. No temporary injunction shall be granted without a notice of motion. Temporary may be granted if by affidavit, deposition, testimony, or testimony court appears to have. Right. So it says, in order for a temporary injunction to be granted, the proponent must show that other legal remedies are inadequate and that injunction is necessary to avoid irreparable harm. Irreparable harm must be established by verified affidavits or pleadings. Temporary injunctions are meant to preserve the status quo pending adjudication on the merits. Because the applicant is asking the court to preserve the status quo until trial, the applicant must have a valid underlying cause of action to proceed to trial. The failure to show irreparable harm is sufficient grounds to deny the temporary injunction. This is why they denied it. When determining whether to grant a temporary restraining or temporary injunction, the court considers the nature and background of the parties' relationship before the dispute, the relative harm to the parties, if the relief is granted or denied, the likelihood of success on the merits, public interests, and the administrative burden on the cost of the court to supervise and enforce temporary restraining order. Plaintiffs argued the defendants posting on social media concerning plaintiffs and their associates constitute irreparable harm. A loss of business and consumer good can constitute irreparable harm. Plaintiffs' alleged defendants' postings have resulted in loss of business contacts and other valuable payments, particularly a contract to provide entertainment online influencers with Los Angeles Clippers and the NBA team. Defendants do not seriously contest the plaintiffs suffered irreparable harm based on defendants' social media postings, only arguing that the conduct itself is not defamatory. Addressing the first Dahlberg factor, the nature and background of the relationship between the parties, is concerned with maintaining the status quo pending the decision on the merits. Prior to the dispute, neither party alleges that a relationship between them existed. Plaintiffs are engaged in business in the state of California, and defendants are running social media pages covering celebrity, entertainment, news, and gossip. The court finds this to be neutral. The balance of harm is the most important factor in determining whether injunction should be issued. Gee whiz, I think this one would really be a big factor now. Plaintiffs argue that they are suffering irreparable harm as a result of the defendants' social media posts, and that any harm to defendants be ordered not to post about plaintiffs is minimal. As discussed, super defendants do not seriously contest that there is irreparable harm. However, an injunction in the form the plaintiffs are seeking would constitute prior restraint of speech, which are generally unconstitutional absent exceptional circumstances. Furthermore, defendants argue they are far from being alone in posting the sort of objectionable content the plaintiffs which allege is defamatory. Many other media outlets have covered plaintiffs in a negative light. The court found the balance of harms, the injury to plaintiffs from the defendant's social media postings as compared to the burden of prior restraint imposed on defendants weighs heavily against a temporary injunction. With respect to the third Dalberg factor, the likelihood of success on the merits, it is error to grant temporary injunctive relief if the proponent cannot show any likelihood of prevailing on the merits. As discussed supra, plaintiffs almost certainly must prove that the defendants acted with actual malice. I think they can do that now. To prevail on their defamation case, and defendants can likely avail of qualified privilege against defamation cases based on journalistic endeavours. This is where she thinks she's a journalist. Plaintiffs have a steep mountain to climb while bearing a heavy burden to prove their different claims against defendants. While the record submitted to the court at present juncture does not categorically show the plaintiffs do not have any likelihood of prevailing on the merits, the court does not consider their claims have substantial likelihood of being proven. Accordingly, this weighs against a temporary injunction. The fourth Dalberg factor concerns public policy and interests of the subjects in dispute. To do so, the court must ascertain whether there have been legislative expressions which manifest a public policy on the subject. In this matter, concerning alleged defamatory statements and a request to rejoin defendant from speaking about plaintiffs, public policy is clearly against such restraint, as demonstrated the robust protections of freedom of speech provided in the United States and Minnesota Constitution. While society has a perverse and strong interest in preventing and redressing attacks upon reputation, an action for damages is the only hope of vindication or redress the law gives to a man whose reputation has been falsely dishonoured. Plaintiffs have a remedy for defamation if proven through an award of damages to impose a prior restraint on defendant's speech in the interim. However, it is clearly against public policy, and the fourth Dalberg factor weighs heavily. Finally, the administrative burden imposed on the court in enforcing a temporary injunction against the defendant is slightly high. Plaintiffs seek an injunction enjoining defendants from publishing or republishing on the internet, with websites, forums, blogs, and social media platforms, or otherwise following materials regarding plaintiffs. It lists 10 list-long items of allegations about the plaintiff's conduct. Defendants raise a salient point that social media postings are frequently reposted and linked back by other content creators, sometimes without attribution. It is not clear how how its order for temporary injunction could be enforced without substantially burdening judicial resources and addressing potentially limitless social media posts. Accordingly, the fifth and final Dalberg factor weighs against injunction. And they did get the protective order, if you remember rightly. So that was, remember, they tried to do a compelled discovery as well. Where it says, with this order addressing plaintiff's motion for protective order and amendment to the schedule order, the court finds the defendant's motion to compel is premature. Oh dear. So anyway, that's why they didn't get the original injunction. But they could, I think they've got more than enough evidence to show that there is some issues there. Oops. Yeah. Okay, I'll have a look at that. Look, I'm going to head off now. I want to thank you all for watching. Hello to the replay crew. Hello. I don't know, and I'll be online next. I am trying to put together a story. There is a vegan. There's a woman who's vegan in Western Australia. She's currently in court. She got caught. She apparently declared to the tax office last year she earned $70,000, which she actually made $700,000 on OnlyFans. She's actually facing court at the moment. And I don't know why being a vegan is night or hit the like on the way out. Yes, I need the algorithm. So I'm trying to get that story put together because I'm quite interested, because apparently she's caused some trouble in West Australia being a vegan, and she's but now she's in trouble because she said she only earned $70,000 when in fact she earned a couple more zeros on the end of that. She's that, you know who I'm talking about, Peter. She's mad, that woman. Vegan OnlyFans. I know. Vegan OnlyFans. That's right. Yeah. So she's. I don't know. She's and apparently she doesn't see what the big fuss is all about. So, yeah. Apparently, saying you only earned $70,000 when you earned $700,000 apparently is not really a big deal. Not me on that. Actually, yeah. So I believe she's caused a little trouble. So I want to put together that story because that piqued my attention. I just thought, because my mind started to, and plus I just need to get away from the craziness, because this is just crazy. What's going on is just absolutely crazy, and I'm ready to get off. I'd like to get off the crazy train and find some other crazy people. So I want to thank you all for watching. So I'm hoping to put that video together. But yeah, look, I don't know what I'm doing but I'll be working tomorrow. But yeah, it's definitely crazy. I have to have a look. One of the guys at work thought, really? Well, on OnlyFans, I'll just show you. Oh, Tash Peterson, that's right. She declared fewer. Oh, we might as well. Let's go there now. Let's just go there now. she declared more than. Actually, we'll stay on for a little bit longer. Let's look at this one. She declared fewer than 20% of her earnings. 20%. 20%. Oh, I can't because it's behind a paywall. Of course it is. No, her Insta. He watches her antics. Oh, okay. Nice. Is she weird? I believe she's weird. Yeah, I think when I Googled her before, I saw she had all these really weird, she comes up as, she's done stuff in restaurants and all that sort of stuff. I think she's been banned from everybody's restaurants too, by the way. Yeah. So I'm just going to see if I can get in here. He watches her antics. Yeah, does he watch her just for the fun of it, or does he watch her because, she's interesting? I just find the fact that she's, declared 20%. I know she's in the WA Supreme Court at the moment. Let's just have a look. I'm just trying to get into the article. Because I know people say, why is talking about KJ? Well, if she just was like a normal person, I wouldn't need to. But she also knows that shock sells. This is all about clicks and views. I really believe that. It's not working. She sounds like our vegan patron on the channel. I see what you can't channel. Oh, here goes. Oh, it's a 7. Of course it is. No, something went wrong. Oh dear. 7. Oh, West Australian 7 West Media. Did you know that? Here's something else you may not know. Overdandra, that the West Coast Eagles, the local AFL team, when they got this number 1 draft pick, a lot of you won't really be interested in this. Harley Reid. He spent every day on the back of the paper, every single day on the back of the paper. They arrested him and they sent him home for a weekend to visit his parents because he's from Victoria. And anyway, they didn't know what to put on the back page of the paper, and the back page of the paper was left blank. Seriously. Oh, sorry, I got the numbers wrong. We'll have to just look at it this way. This it only gives me sorry, I was wrong. Says notorious vegan Tash Peterson earned more than $400,000 by the end of the 2022 financial year, most of which came from her OnlyFans account, but only declared $70,000 in business earnings to the Australian Tax Office. So she's in a little bit of trouble. She apparently is facing 3 trials this year as well. This is her. Plus, she's been banned from restaurants as well. She's been arrested and convicted of disorderly conduct 3 times. This was in 2023 when she got, again, another celebrity chef. Apparently, she's banned from every pub in WA. Wowzers. Oh, yeah, this is the type of stuff that she does. That's her. So she's banned from every pub in Western Australia, apparently. Oh, look at that. Apparently, she's in the top 0.05% of earners on OnlyFans. So she was put off eating meat when she watched the 1995 hit movie Babe. When I was a kid, I didn't really want to be around other humans at all. She told, there you go, Babe, put her off eating. She's decided to start OnlyFans to help with her become a full-time animal rights activist. I'm donating, and yeah, I'm not living a lavish lifestyle. Don't own a house. Most of the money I make is going towards non-human animal rights, one way or another. She said it comes at a price because she's often having to pay legal fees. So there you go. Yeah, so that's her. All right. So yeah, so she's in a bit of strife. So anyway, all right, I'm definitely going to go now. So thank you for watching. Hello to the replay crew. Oh, let's do one more thing before we go. I know I keep saying I'm going to go, but you know what? I just can't leave you. Well, that's right. Well, surely if she's done, she's got tax write-offs. So let's just look at, just before we go, this. I just want to look at the real. Oh, look, it's not working. Oh, here it is. For local authorities to take action, it seriously needs 12,500 signatures. Really? I've typed by 3 times. So, well, maybe. Yes, I'm hoping to put a plan with me out. I'm hoping to film that over the weekend. Vic updated a bio with a legitimate Tanner agency of contacting him. The same company repping his girlfriend Lauren, working to verify if he's out or if this is another game by Roberto. What is she calling Roberto? Vic left this comment on Miranda's video 2 days ago. Hard to know if this is him or if he's a mentor. Stay tuned. Who cares? The Miranda family loves her and wants her out of an unsafe environment. We never wanted any sort of violence to come her way. And in that, our only attempt was to save her from an unsafe environment. Yeah, but that's not what happened, was it? Changes to Vic's management do not automatically mean that he's out. I shared the change to note that the change happened. 7M is not a licensed talent agency and cannot book their clients as an agent. Some of the dancers had dual representation with talent agents and 7M as a manager. This could be a game by Robert. Well, I mean, can we call her Katarine if she calls him Roberto? Well, we could do. She must be awake. It must be. Well, so is he a talent agent or is he a manager? Because they've got different roles. So now we're changing. She's now saying that he wasn't licensed and therefore they had to have a talent agent and he was the manager. So, again, we've changed the narrative. Sure, that's not what she advocated for in the beginning. She was out for Miranda, correct? Because a talent agent and a manager are different. Nice try, Roberto. Vicky's still in 7M and changes to management on Instagram. Do not change that he's still involved in the cult per former members. So she's believing what other people saying. What if she's being given false information? Vic, take your mum out and make everything look normal. Change your management to a company to treat people. Then we can all get back to work sooner, Roberto. Jeez. Thank you, Jack Osborne, for calling out. Try LAD office and LAP Fort Hill for not arresting Robert Shinn. Numerous women came to LAPD. LAPD were more like, we need more. Apparently, there's nothing happening. So Derrick's family have taken him to civil suit and also his victims have filed. Derrick's family have taken him to civil court. But he's trying to. They're just trying to drag it out. You know, he's got church money, he explained. I didn't know that Derrick's have. So Derrick's family have taken him to, like, civil suit? Really? That's false. Oh, yeah, because we've got to put in some brown stuff. Now, what did Ball says, KJ's a public figure, and so she can post pictures of Miranda's house so he can pull balls. As I said, I don't condone it, but the fact that she got she went onto Instagram to complain. Why on earth is she got herself in a picture? Christine Brown showed shocking direct messages for fan exposed. Christine will block me for this. I thought she had blocked you. Why she put a picture in the thumbnail? What's she got to do? To my neighbour taking photos for Robert Shinn. We do have a dog that will bite you. If you get too close, we have ring cameras over the house. You'll be reported to police for harassment and stalking. Actually, I've got to find the post where she talks about the dog. He's super old. Apparently his video is super old. All right. She posted. It has to be on a community post. Let me just do, I'm looking for one more thing. And then I'm going to go because I've got to get, I'm supposed to be like excited tomorrow. I'm supposed to look like I'm excited to be at work tomorrow. And the podcasts have come out. I've got an issue with Spotify at the moment, so they've not made it on Spotify, but it's on all the other podcasting places, and it's our Man in Tights. Women in Tights. I hope you enjoyed. I did post it on my community tab, the Men in Tights song. I love it. That was a cool movie. No, she didn't. Why didn't she share it? Okay, maybe I misimagined it. Okay. Might have been on one of the posts, but it talks about the dog attacking the cat. So I don't know. All right, I'm just going to, I'll see if I can find it and I'll post it when I find it so you can all see it. Anyway, I am done. And I will speak to you again soon. And actually, let me just see if Miss Balls has got it. If anyone's going to have it. I'm looking for this one thing. I'm looking for this one thing and I can't find it. No, it's not there. Oh, yeah. Oh, based on this. It's a wonder. Oh, no, you can't yet. You can't yet, sure, daughter. No. She posted this. She said, if you think Miranda's she's put Katie Joy accuses Miranda of having no control over her life, but do you think Vag has any control? Thinks he pays the bills? Think he has any idea the amount of money his wife has wasted? All right, and then pictures of the house, and then oh, I've been singing all night. So yeah, so is that's when she was showing, but that's okay. That's okay. And then look at this one. Hello, I'm Netflix. This is Katie Joy, archival consultant for the TikTok hole. I need security. These bots are doing to me what I've been doing to others. Yeah, they are saying it's karma or something. Now, this is the post Balls did. So Katie Joy said that Melanie Wilking was given all this hate thing. All she did was she posted her Katie Joy's post. This is without a crystal ball's Instagram post. Okay. Then she shared that. Recently I've been setting the record straight. I'm not engaging in games. Okay. She then shared, can you comment on Without a Crystal Ball's recent post? Are you asking her to personally help you get Miranda back and away from Robert? Hello again. I've been talking to Melanie. All I really need is if you're willing to tell me you aren't talking to Katie Joy anymore. And that was in March 19, 2023, right? Then this is May. So, and then June 5. So this is the account. She said that I saw this. How can you let Katie do this to Miranda? Seriously, please speak out against her for Miranda's sake. All right. And it was mentioned in it. So that was that. That's all she said. That's all she said. This is the whole conversation that she's had since the March 19. So that apparently is the harassment, the alleged harassment that Balls had placed on had scared Melanie Wilking, by the way. That's what scared her. But the other question is, why didn't she call Officer Steve? So anyway, all right. I am now going to head off now. All right. I got the picture. I'm about to play the ending. I'm going to say goodbye in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I will catch you next time. Bye for now. Oops.